Man, welcome back to the Cruise Dynasty podcast. We are back at it again, doing what the fuck we do. And I got the Crap Man in the building. What's going on, Crap Man?
You know, we're just talking football. We're doing the same thing we always do. And we're going to try to get into some good stuff tonight. This is going to be one of our topic episodes, which is always fun to talk, skip the waiver wire, skip some of this redraft stuff. We're going to get into some Dynasty tonight and give y'all some shit that y'all might like, some trade targets, some sell high or, whatever, buy low, sell high situation.
Pretty much this episode, I'm going to bring up a few players' names and I'm going to ask Craft Man what the hell we going to do with these guys. But as far as the podcast goes, add the podcast. Turn your notifications on. Craft said it last episode. This pod, we're recording this pod like Saturday night. Before week 6? Are we in week 6, Craft Man?
Yeah, we're in week 6, but these kind of episodes right here, I mean, this is what's great about them is you can listen to these pretty much anytime, So
this, I might drop this one like Monday or Tuesday or something, and hopefully nothing changes too much over one game or one day of football, but we'll see because that shit happens. So basically, I'm gonna bring up a few players. These are guys that you could either. Well, pretty much we're just going to decide what we're going to do with these guys. Like, if you're a rebuilding team, would you go take a shot and try to get these guys? If you're a contending team, would you try to go take a shot and go get these guys? Maybe talk about their situation a little bit. And the first one we're going to bring up is that wide receiver 1 in Dynasty. Craftman had him at 2, though. So Justin Jefferson just got put on IR, I believe. And I seen a report today that he was going to miss like 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah, hopefully just 4 for guys who really have them on your team. But basically, my thing is, if you got Justin Jefferson, most likely you're probably contending. And if you're contending, you just lost your best fucking player. So I just got to know, Crap Man, like, what are we doing with Justin Jefferson? It's Dynasty, so you got to play the whole game, or you got to play the long. You could play the long game, hold him. He's a young guy. Don't know what's happening with Kirk Cousins though. And if you're rebuilding, you're obviously just holding. So, what are we doing with Justin Jefferson?
Well, me personally, I don't think I'm trading him pretty much for anything unless you get some crazy offer that involves like a Jamar Chase, which, was my Dynasty wide receiver 1. So I just think you could probably, if your record's good enough, say you're 4-1 right now, just ride it out, because in a Dynasty league, most of the time you got a bunch of tanking teams. You got 3 or 4 teams that aren't competing hardly at all. It's not like a redraft league where everybody is just trying to win right now. So I would say just hold him until he comes back. And then if you want to make a move, if he comes back in 4 weeks, that's fine. Maybe you can still trade him for, AJ Brown plus or something like that, Tyreek Hill plus. But if you're fine just waiting it out, I would just wait it out. But I would be a little concerned of just the Vikings' record, period, because they're 1-4 right now, and they could be, 3-8 when he comes back, or 3-6. I just don't know what the Vikings are going to do with Justin Jefferson. And what scares me the most is the Vikings don't have a quarterback situation next year. That's the only reason I had Jamar Chase ranked ahead of him to begin with. There was some news that came out today that Kirk Cousins is going to finish the season as a Viking. So you can go ahead and squash all that. Kirk Cousins is going to get traded by the end of the year. But, if I can get Jamar Chase, easy. I'd trade him straight up for Jamar Chase right now. And but other than that, you'd have to get you got to get a lot to sell him. I mean, you'd have to get and that's what I'm saying. Like, you can get Tyreek Tyreek Hill, who's obviously going to finish higher than JJ anyway. But it's not the time to do it. We're in week 5. It would be you need to wait a little while, and then maybe in week 9 you make a move like that. You trade him for Tyreek plus, but not right now. He's not at his highest value right now. He's actually at his lowest. So it just depends on what a rebuilding team is going to send you.
Yep, I definitely don't disagree with anything you were saying. I'll just say this as far as dynasty goes and how some people think and what I see on the Twitter. It's crazy. Like, if you think about it, you sort of had a buy window for your top 2 dynasty wide receivers, like in Jamar. He had a Joe Burrow problem, and Justin Jefferson. Not that me and Craftman was selling. I probably wouldn't sell him for nothing. If I was contending, I'll just be like, oh, well, I lost this year. I would just keep Justin Jefferson. But here's what I would say. If you're one of those rebuilding teams, like I'll just give an example. Like my brother, he's a rebuilding team, but he has Stephon Diggs on his team. And he's being patient with him. He's trying to get the right value for Stephon Diggs and stuff like that, which I don't blame him. And I was telling him, I was like, you might as well, because old Will Savage, he's got Justin Jefferson all the way going for it. He's got older guys. He's got Eckler. He's got Derrick Henry. We're talking about he's got older guys on his team. I'm like, you might as well just try to see if you can swing a Diggs Justin Jefferson trade. I mean, you could never do this when he was healthy, right? But at least there's like a little discussion now that he's hurt. He's going to be out 4, could be 6 weeks. Who knows about the Vikings? They could shut it down. I don't think they would. I don't really see too many NFL teams doing that type of shit, like just straight up shutting it down. Kirk Cousins says he's going to stay with the Vikings, so
Yeah.
I'll just go ahead and come clean. I was telling folks I had a big trade. It was almost about to go through, and I ain't gonna expose nobody, but I guess I'm gonna tell a little bit. I just sent Calvin Ridley in a first for Justin Fields because Justin Fields was out, and the guy who had Justin Fields took a whole day to think about it. He was thinking about he might do that shit. It was like, it's fair. I might do it. In the end, he was like, man, I'm just not trading Justin Jefferson. And I don't blame him. I wouldn't do that shit neither.
You said Justin Fields for a second there. You're talking about.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Justin Jefferson. So I was like, damn, man, if this dude did this shit, like, I would send anybody, pretty much anybody in a first. Like, I think if I had Stephon Diggs and I had like a first that could be a mid to late, I'd pair that up and try to get Justin Jefferson if I could. I got on my team personally, I got Chris Olave. I would definitely be willing to say Chris Olave in a first for Justin Fields. In my situation, I'm a rebuilding team. So I don't know. That's just the advice. Go out there and you can't get a trade done if you don't go out there and make some offers, you know. So like I said though, if I had Justin Fields, even if I was keep saying Fields. If I had JJ, I wouldn't trade him for nothing. If I was a contender and my season's lost, I still wouldn't trade him. Fuck that shit. But here's a slight little buy window out there.
Yeah, that's where me and you differ a little bit because with Justin Jefferson, I don't think that the future is that bright for Justin Jefferson because he is very good. I mean, he's the best receiver in the league, no doubt about it. I mean, even with the veterans, you put Devonte Adams and stuff in there. Justin Jefferson's the best. But when you don't have a quarterback, I got Garrett Wilson in a dynasty league, and I'm shaking in my boots because I don't know what to do with him. And with Justin Jefferson, you don't know who his quarterback's going to be next year. It's not going to be Kirk Cousins. And if they keep losing, it's probably going to be a rookie. Their defense is that bad. The Vikings are on I just don't know. The Vikings are in a weird spot right now. They're not necessarily rebuilding, but they're also losing with the best of them. So there's a good chance that JJ don't even sign with the Vikings because he's pretty much said that I want a good quarterback, which I don't blame him. So I don't know if JJ should be the overall best receiver in Dynasty, and we just keep holding on to that. You know, Matt, you say all the time situations matter.
Right, definitely. I just, in my honest opinion about the whole Viking situation and all that, I'm just gonna be real. I think the Vikings are just going to sign Kirk Cousins to another 2-year deal. Throw a good
Maybe
little chunk of money at him. I mean, what are they going to do? Like, I don't know if they're really going to be bad. I mean,
draft some good defensive players next year, maybe, and
that's what
just
I'm saying. They got
throw
way
it.
bigger problems than a quarterback problem, and Kirk Cousins probably got like 5, 6 more years left in him. Like, I mean, all these quarterbacks play for so long now, but
But
I
there's
mean,
a chance. There's a chance that they don't have a quarterback next year. I mean,
that's true. And what's the deal? Kirk Cousins is a straight up free agent, right? So
yeah,
he could just leave. See, if I was
yeah.
Kirk Cousins, I wouldn't want to leave. I would just that's why he don't want to waive that no trade clause.
Just
He's
stay
like,
with
fuck,
just
I'm
stay with
getting good
JJ
money.
and Jordan Addison, and a great offense that they got, and hopefully the
Right.
Vikings will draft some actual defensive players next year. So, I mean, my personal opinion on JJ is just hold, because
Agreed.
um, I would actually side a little bit more on the sell side than I would the buy side if you were a contender, but I wouldn't do it now. I would wait until until you know that you're actually seriously contending and you got a chance for a championship, because we're in week 5. You might be 4-1, but what looks a lot better than 4-1 is 8-1. And if
Right.
you're 8-1 and you're contending and you got JJ on your team, maybe go out and get Tyreek Hill and maybe somebody else from somebody who isn't contending, or Stephon Diggs and somebody else. But right now, and to put it in perspective too, you don't want to trade too early, because that's more games that these players can get hurt. JJ's already out. Why trade for Stephon Diggs and risk 4 more games of him getting hurt rather than trade JJ in week 8 or week 9? His value's not going to go down. It's going
Right.
to be the same.
I've seen
And you
crazier
avoid the
stuff than
injury.
that. Yeah. I'm with you. I think me and you are both we're a little different, but we pretty much agree on the premise of like hold this man, like, and I mean, yeah, if somebody sends you Jamar Chase, like, I'm probably just gonna do that shit. Like,
And that's it, though. I think it's just Jamar Chase. I mean,
all
I,
right.
I
But
like
what
A.J.
about
Brown and stuff. I like CD, but not enough for that.
but crap man, say that you're just straight up going for it, like you're all in this season, your draft capital probably ain't looking that good, and JJ just got hurt, and somebody comes out with you with Tyreek Hill or Cooper Cup.
I'm
I mean,
just
that's a
gonna
tough
I'm
one.
just gonna try to make that trade 4 weeks down the road, 5 weeks down the road, because like I said, his value's not gonna drop, and you'll know a little bit more about where your team stands. Like, some of your players might get injured. You know it in the home league. All
What?
your players are just going down. So why not? His value's not going down. So just
Right.
trade him later. Trade him in week 8 or week 9 instead.
All right. So the next name that I want to pull up now is our guy, Garrett Wilson. And before the year, there's a lot of people out there saying that Garrett Wilson could hop in that Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson tier right there. I drafted him in redraft, thinking that he had that top 5 upside and stuff like that. And I do believe Garrett Wilson is good. His quarterback got hurt. So with Aaron Rodgers going down, a little buy window for Garrett Wilson in the dynasty landscape out there. And basically, I just think this buy window right here is a little bit different than, like, say, someone Jamar and Jefferson, because I think Garrett Wilson is actually attainable
Yeah,
because,
definitely. Because I'm
I,
looking to sell.
yeah, crap, man, hell, you got him. So, I mean, I think the Jets situation is just a little bit iffy out there. Like, Aaron Rodgers saying he's coming back, he's already walking and all that good shit. But, I mean, he's a little up there in age, and who knows? I mean, I know Achilles don't really matter too. I mean, like, obviously it matters, but he plays quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
not like the man's out there playing running back or some shit like that. So Garrett Wilson's situation is a little iffy in my eyes. But with that said, if I was a rebuilding team, I'm fielding offers for Garrett Wilson. I'm just seeing what I could get. Like, I'm just gonna at least ask
You
ask
mean if you were a
around.
contending team?
Nah, if I'm a rebuilding team, I'm gonna ask for Garrett Wilson. A
Oh,
contending
yeah.
team,
Yeah,
I
you're
don't
trying
want.
to buy Garrett Wilson. Yeah, yeah.
If I'm a
Okay.
contending team, if I can sell Garrett Wilson, I'm probably gonna do it if I can. Oh, like if somebody comes at you with a Stephon Diggs for Garrett Wilson, you're probably doing that.
Oh,
I'm just throwing names out.
I've already thought about it, but my thought process was the same as the last. Like I'll try to do that. I'll try to do that in like week 8, week 9. If I can just keep winning with Garrett Wilson on my team,
Right.
and maybe 6-2 in week 8, and really know that I can contend and see how the season progresses with injuries and everything, then yeah, I'm probably going to sell. Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson will probably not be on my team in doo-doo after week 8 or 9.
Right.
But
So
it's hard to. I mean, like you say, you can go get Diggs. That's fine. You can go get Diggs, but if you're asking another contending team for Diggs, it's not going to happen.
right.
So you got to look at your league, and you got to go to the bottom of the list. You got to go to the teams that are 1-8, and try to see if they got a older player that they're looking to get rid of. That's the only way it's going to happen.
Well, shoot, crap, man. Since you got Garrett Wilson and you're a contender team, I mean, I'll say you're a contender team, right? You're out there. You're definitely not looking to rebuild.
Oh
right?
yeah. I'm committed.
So, like, if you're in that situation, Garrett Wilson, like, what would you be looking for if you was happen to be on the market? You're just talking trades with somebody. What kind of player are you looking for out there?
Well, I'm definitely not asking for picks because I'm contending, so it's probably not. I'm not trying to get a first unless I can get it added on. But I mean, it'd have to be somebody like Diggs, Devonte Adams. Devonte Adams would have to come with a plus mark after that because he is a little bit older.
Right.
Tyreek would be hard to obtain because he's still like the number 2 receiver, or he's the number 1 receiver in the league. So he's not on the list, but Cooper Kupp wouldn't be a bad one. Go out there and get Cooper Kupp because he's probably only got like 2 this year and maybe next year left. So maybe you get Cooper Kupp plus or something like that to a team who has them. But that's kind of the range. You don't want to go down too deep. I wouldn't go down into like the Mike Evans range. I mean, there's no way that I would do. Even if Mike Evans keeps performing, I just don't think that's too low. So it'd have to be a top tier veteran, pretty much. That I would at least like to get 2 years, this year and next year, if I was going for somebody. I don't want just somebody for the end of this year.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm with you. So Garrett Wilson's out there. Try to get him if you can, man. I wouldn't mind getting him, man. He's got the talent. I know I always say it, situations, they fucking matter. And I feel like a lot of people don't believe that, but go ask Drake London and Garrett Wilson what they think. I think they would rather be. Go ask Drake London if he would rather be with the Minnesota Vikings. He'd probably say, hell yeah. So
what about Keenan Allen plus? Hey, that's one of the players I said that we need 2 years out of. I don't know if Keenan Allen's got 2 left. That one's questionable where it's like
super tough.
Maybe it's just this year. Maybe it's 2 years.
Well, what's the Keenan Allen situation looking like? Like, what's his contract? What's all his stuff looking like?
I think he'll be back next year, but he's 31, and Keenan Allen's never been known. He's never been known as like a physical specimen, if that makes any sense. Like Keenan Allen's a route runner.
To me, that helps him out, though.
Yeah, it does.
He might get aged a little better. Like I feel like guys like him and maybe.
So would you trade Garrett? Well, say you're 8-1,
right,
in dynasty, and say the team that's got Keenan Allen is 1-8. Would you make that trade straight up to go for it? If Keenan Allen keeps on doing what he's doing, like he's like wide receiver 5 or whatever in points per game. So,
man, that's so tough. I mean, if you're 8-1, I probably wouldn't even do it. But then again, if you could get Keenan Allen in a first, like I might would just say fuck it.
They ain't gonna give you a first though, because that's a team that's not contending, so they're not gonna give an early first.
That's true. That's true. Ah, man, crap, that's tough, man. If you're 8-1, I might just look at it as like, damn, I'm 8-1.
Hopefully, just sprinkle the pixie dust and be like, maybe I can win and have a young stud on my team for next year.
Like, damn, I'm 8-1. Garrett Wilson's on my bench. Like, that's probably how I'd look at it from that standpoint. But that's a tough situation right there. Keenan's a good one. That's a good one right there.
But Garrett Wilson is so low this year. I mean, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, and I agree with a lot of it. It's like, should I start Garrett Wilson or fucking Tank Dell or Nico Collins or something? It's like, is that how low it's gotten? Because it has been that bad.
It's been that bad. I got him in a redraft league, and you was telling me some names, and I was like, fuck, man, I don't want to go that low. And hell, if I really want to get rid of Garrett Wilson.
If you can get Ayuk for Garrett Wilson, you should do it.
I'm going to be real. If I got Ayuk, there ain't no fucking way I'm trading for Garrett Wilson in redraft, man.
You wouldn't take Ayuk?
I would take Ayuk.
No,
I wouldn't take Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
I mean, Garrett Wilson.
Would you take Nico Collins for Garrett Wilson the rest of the season?
I feel in redraft. I feel like you might have to, man. Might go send that out in about 10 minutes. See what happens.
I got Nico. No, I don't.
Oh man, I'm about to say, well, fuck, I ain't getting him there.
But even if I did have Nico, I wouldn't accept the trade. So that tells you that I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't either, man. And I like Nico right now, so especially with CJ Stroud coming in.
In redraft, you got to go low, man. In redraft, you really got to go low. Maybe like a Chris Godwin.
All right, man. Fuck it. Let's just move on to the next one.
Kadarius Toney.
Oh hell!
I hold on to Garrett Wilson at that point. Damn.
I'd shoot myself. That was how low I had to get. All right, crap. This one's a little bit different. This one ain't like a little buy low, sell high type deal, or we can kind of touch on it. But I just want this one, Puka Nucua, and the Cooper Kupp situation. I think some people might be a little bit iffy on it. I feel like I'm not. I like Puka Nucua. If anything, I'd be more concerned with Puka with Stafford and McVay being gone. That's what I would be more worried about. And I know the last episode I was on, which was probably like 2 or 3 episodes ago, I sold Puka Nucua for a first round pick. That was pretty much what I was rolling with right there. I was like, I don't know. I mean,
like
Sean
mid to late first.
Yeah, like a mid to late first. So yeah, because Chris bought him from me. He's definitely going for it. So, I mean, what do we make of the Puka and the Cooper situation? Cooper came back, got like 20 plus fantasy points last week. To me, I would just view this as more of a Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods situation like we had 2 or 3 years ago when Cooper Kupp was going to fuck off. I wouldn't be worried about Cooper. And I just don't think I'd be worried about Puka. I mean, you got him in like the 20th round of your startups, and the man's out here starting and getting.
He's a top 10 wide receiver in redraft.
So, shout out to Puka.
A rookie is a top 10 wide receiver in redraft for the first 6 weeks.
So, any kind of concerns with Cooper Kupp coming in for Puka? Like maybe a little bit of the ceiling came off. I would say a little bit. Like, not that much for me to be worried about it, but
yeah, I just seen with Stafford and like the point you made. If you're concerned about Stafford's health and if he's going to retire eventually, then you could sell Puka. But this year, Puka's going to be fine. I mean, they can coexist. That offense is perfect for the Sean McVay offense is just perfect for Puka and Cooper Kupp to do what they do, and Tutu will still have some good games. And I mean, Stafford's really been a pleasant surprise. Yeah. He's one of the better quarterbacks in the league. So
I don't really think they're going to be gone like that. I just don't really see them leaving like that.
It'd have to be an early first for me for Puka. Like, I know he was drafted late, but I try to put it in perspective of like. The only reason that Puka would even be considered getting traded for a first is just because his NFL draft capital, which he was like a 5th round pick. If the guy got drafted in the 2nd round or 1st round, like, would you rather have Puka at this point, or would you rather have Zay Flowers?
Personally, I feel like I'd rather have Puka. I mean, I feel like Zay Flowers. I like Zay Flowers, but to me, it feels like they're kind of using him as like more of like a gadget player type deal.
They've been getting a lot of targets. Like the talent level is a lot different. Like Puka's doesn't run the fast 40. He's not real. He's not.
Hey,
But
that
if you're a good NFL, he just reminds me of like he can make a career like Keenan Allen throughout his career and just
right.
do that over and over.
That type of shit don't really bother me like that. Like, oh, he ran a 4.640. Like, I mean, heck, they were saying that about Kyron Williams. The thing is like the Rams, they just do things different. I feel like they just kind of take a little bit more of an NBA approach to things right now. Like, they was even trying to shop Matthew Stafford out a little bit after they wanted. Well, I guess he was hurt last year, but just seeing what they could get for him. Like, I just think the Rams are doing things a little bit different. Like, draft capital really this ain't gonna matter with this team. I feel like they ain't got draft picks anyway, so whoever they draft, they're gonna be using them anyways. Fuck it.
Well, let's put it in kind of a contending versus contending / redraft perspective. So, if you're a contending team and you're looking to trade with a contending team, say you got Puka, would you trade him straight up for Stephon Diggs?
Oh, I mean, hell yeah, I would. I mean, I like Stephon Diggs, so I
Well,
mean, yeah, I would
season
personally.
statistics, Puka is the number 3 receiver this year, behind Tyreek and Stephon
In
Diggs.
PPR,
Half PPR.
half PPR.
If you full PPR is probably higher. Man gets like 10 receptions a week.
Yeah, I can't believe that man's high like that. But
He's
heck,
a
I mean, I
number
don't
3
believe.
receiver on the year. DJ Moore, even with that 50-point game, is number 4.
Yeah. Mm.
And you're also giving up the longevity when
Right, the
trading somebody
use
like
and
that.
all
Yeah.
that. Man, that's tough. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying I'm not like a believer in him or not or and stuff like that, but it's just like I just think about like the deal I made. I'm just thinking about how low you got Puka Nakua and then how high his value is right now, and it's like it just feels like you almost
You
got to capitalize on that shit.
you can say that about Jalen Hurts though. Like you got him in the
That's
third
true.
round of a rookie draft, and I could sell him for this, but it's like,
That's true.
nah, you
It's
might
like
as well
that
hold on
argument
Jalen
we
Hurts.
had. You remember that argument we had about Aaron Jones? It's like
Oh yeah,
that. It's
yeah.
like that. I don't know. I'm kind of with. You know what? I'm with you. I mean, I know I just sold Puka, but I lean keeping Puka a little bit as far as that goes. Like, but as far as like getting the
It's the Stafford
first,
situation is what it is.
right?
I see where you're coming from. Like the coaching staff and the quarterback are uncertain.
And they
Like I
talk about
just pointed out
retiring
with
every
Justin
year.
Jefferson. I just talked about it with Justin Jefferson, the number 1 overall. So if I got concerns with him, definitely
Right.
got to have concerns with a guy like Puka in
So
Dynasty.
it's just all
Would you
this.
trade him for JSN with the slow start?
Ah man, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm not a JSN hater, but I wasn't like, you know, nutting all over the floor for JSN like everybody else was. Like, oh, JSN this, JSN that. Like, so I feel like I would definitely keep Puka. I mean, I like Puka's situation better than JSN's. I mean, Tyler Lockett and them dudes ain't sorry, and they ain't
No,
going nowhere.
but Tyler Lockett might be gone
You think he'll
eventually.
be going after this year?
It's
I just
50-50.
don't see him. I just don't
Depends
really
on
see
how
him.
it depends on how he performs. I mean, he hadn't necessarily been the Tyler Lockett of old so far, but it's early. Depends on how he performs the rest of the year. If he shows a bit of decline, then for sure I would think he'd be
Well, what
gone.
about you then? You would trade Puka for JSN?
No, no.
Yeah, I
I
don't think I
I
would either.
I just like proven talent, and
Yeah, I
it's
agree.
hard to.
I mean, think about how I was on Addison. I don't even think I'd trade Puka for Addison. I mean, his
But you traded him
situation's.
for a mid to. I guess you just think that 2024 draft class is going to be fucking right then.
I just don't. The only thing I was saying when I made that trade was like, damn, I drafted this dude in the 21st round, and I'm getting a first for this guy. It's like it's
Puka
hard
for
to
Brent
pass
Bowers.
up. But I will say this though, Kraft. If this was the home league, I might would approach that a little bit different than Duda. Duda is one of my top leagues, no doubt about it. But technically, it is my third league, so it's like I am approaching this like I'm in a punt year. Like I wouldn't be doing that shit normally. I feel like you know what I'm saying. In the home league, I'm probably keeping Puka.
Yeah.
and just riding it out to the end
You're
for 10
you're
plus
also
years.
you're in a different situation in that league too. Like you're going for it, so you can throw Puka in your starting lineup every week and get
Yeah,
massive production. In this league, you're like, I don't want mass production. I want the 101 next year.
that's true. But after Caleb Williams threw 3 picks tonight, I might be all right with the 102. So,
Who do you think? Well, we're not going to get into this. Who do you think is going to be the best running back in this class? Do you think it's going to be Ohio State's guy?
man, look, as far as running back goes, I have no fucking clue, bro. Like, I know these guys and I see them, but it's just not clear cut like it was the last 2 years. Like Brees Hall and then
Bijan.
Bijan, like that shit was just so clear cut. This year it's just not like that, I guess. I mean, I don't really know too much about the 24 class like these other dynasty podcasts do. Some of them are already breaking it down, clipping up tape, all kinds of shit.
We'll get
I
to
just
it
like
though.
watching football. Fuck it. I just we'll get to that
Yeah.
when after the NFL playoffs. Fuck all that shit.
Yeah, we'll get to it. Don't worry. Like before y'all's rookie drafts, we'll break it down for everybody. And
It
we
feels
might not be the
like
college experts, but we watched the tape, and I felt like we did pretty well
pretty good.
for
I
our
swung
first
and
year
missed on
doing it.
some. Yeah, for real. I ain't ever went on YouTube and started looking up tape and shit. I did this
Yeah.
time though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out to the Cruise Dynasty podcast and shout out to me and Kraft for giving us props. Fuck it. But I will say this though, like Marvin Harrison seems to be the clear cut, like skill position guy at the top. Like in one quarterback leagues, he's probably the 101. And then in
Man.
super flex, it looks like Caleb Williams as of now. Although Drake May's probably up there, and hell, that dude from Washington's probably sliding on up too. Old Penix Jr.
Yeah.
He can come to
Yeah.
Atlanta for all I care. Any of them guys can come.
Yeah, and running backs, you got Ohio State's guy. You got Blake
Oh,
Corum for
Michigan.
Michigan. Yeah.
Gotta bring up Brock Bowers. I know you said
Oh,
something
of
about him just a
course.
minute ago.
Got to.
Tight
Best
end
tight end
one right now.
prospect. Yeah, best tight end prospect ever.
I'm just begging. I just want his situation to be good. I don't even care if I got him on my team. I hope his situation is good.
You know, me and Noah were talking about that the other day. We were like, he's probably going to get drafted like in the mid first round, like between like 12 and 30. So we were thinking about the teams. We were like, man, the Bengals would be fucking great.
That'd be nice.
But it could be the Patriots
Oh
or
God,
something like that. Like, no, please no. So or the Titans.
Oh man,
Oh man, the Titans.
I
That'd be
seen
great.
old Brock Bowers went down today, but I think it was just like a
Like
foot or
ankle.
ankle. Yeah, so
Yeah.
good. I'm glad it wasn't nothing crazy. Like, and I don't even like the dogs, man. Love me some Brock Bowers, the
Yeah,
best.
got to
He's
love
the
Brock Bowers.
best. The first time I watched him play, I said that dude needs like 15 plus touches. I mean, that dude is so good. He's got a receding hairline and everything. He loves football. I can tell.
He, he does, man. And like the things that I say about him is like he doesn't have the quickest like get off, but that man's
Right.
top speed is unmatched. Like he's just a grown man. He just throws people down. Like people try to tackle him, he's just like, you're like a you're like you're like an elementary school player trying to tackle a high school player. That's what he looks like.
He does. I mean, when he's on the field, he's easily the best. All right. I'm going to move on to one more receiver, and then I'm going to talk about a couple running backs that got some question marks around him. But DJ Moore. What the fuck we doing with DJ Moore? I mean, that man just went off, tied to Justin Fields and the Bears, who are 1-4 or whatever it is, one win on the season. I just don't even know what to even think about the Bears, if I'm just being totally honest. Because I don't know if the Bears are going to. I don't know, man. I just don't even know what to think of the Bears. Are they going to replace Justin Fields? They could. I don't really listen. I ain't been the biggest Justin Fields fanboy, but obviously all this shit ain't his fault. You know what I'm saying? Like the Bears are just a shitty ass organization. I mean, it's like I say, situations matter. When you get stuck in Chicago, even Caleb Williams said if Chicago got the #1 pick, he just gonna stay at USC. He can get paid more there anyways. So, like. What are we doing with DJ Moore? With Chicago, with Justin Fields?
Well, I'll give you a name that we just brought up: DJ Moore or Puka Nucua in a dynasty league.
I'm taking both of them.
Hey, yeah. Who would you rather have? They're both young.
Yeah.
That's a trade that can get done.
That is a
quick.
trade that can get done. I'd rather have Puka personally.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I'm on the sell side of DJ Moore. I mean, obviously, he had a 50-point game last week, so
Yeah.
you can't do no worse than selling him. He's not a buy. I mean, I don't think I'm going out and buying DJ Moore. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know about DJ Moore. I think I'm gonna stand by my rankings at the beginning of the season, where I think he's gonna be finished as a wide receiver 2 this year, probably like a high end wide receiver 2, mid wide receiver 2. So, I mean, if you can get a haul for him right now, he's definitely on the sell side for me. I would trade him for Stephon Diggs. I know DJ Moore's a good bit younger, but still trading for Stephon Diggs. Keenan would be close. I think I'd hold DJ Moore at that point. But, you know, it really depends on where you're at. I hate to take the easy road out, but, like, it really depends on what you want to go for.
Yeah.
If you're contending, though, to trade DJ Moore for Diggs, I would probably do it. If somebody wants to get a little younger.
Oh man, would you? That's tough. I think it just comes down to like, what do you think about the Bears? Like, do you think?
I just don't have that much. I don't think that Justin Fields' last 2 weeks were like the norm, and I don't think the first 3 weeks were the norm either. I think it's somewhere in between.
Like,
like Stephon Diggs, you go on Prize Picks, his every line every week is like 88.5 receiving yards. You go to DJ Moore, it's like 60.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think Diggs got better touchdown potential, even though last week DJ Moore had the touchdown. So
3 touchdowns and had a good ass game. Yeah, I mean, I think it just depends on, like, do you think the Bears next year are running it back with Justin Fields and I mean, they're gonna have like 2 top 5 picks. I mean, is there a chance that? But I mean, that's another thing though. What if they do bring in like a Drake May, or because I mean, I do like Drake May from what I've seen in Caleb Williams. Like, heck, I've liked a few of these quarterbacks. I ain't gonna lie. So, I mean, would that be a better situation for DJ Moore?
Not in the short term, I don't think. Like, I know Caleb Williams is like God, but what would you rather have, a third-year Justin Fields in DJ Moore's, you know, for next year? Would you rather have a third-year Justin Fields or a first-year Caleb Williams? You know, it wouldn't be that much different.
Right. I agree. I'm with you. I mean, now DJ Moore's probably one of the toughest ones. You know, I think I'm with you. I think I would sell. If you could sell, what you trying to get?
Would you trade DJ Moore? Say you're a middle of the pack team. Would you sell DJ Moore in a first for AJ Brown?
Oh yeah. Hell yeah, I would.
Exactly. I think he's a sell, man. He's not a buy.
I think I agree with you, man. I was iffy. I didn't really know what
to
about
think, CD, though? What about CD Lamb?
Man, listen, man. I would say yes most of the time. But what the fuck are they doing in Dallas right now? Like, I think if you told me Mike McCarthy ain't calling plays next year, I think I'd do it. But I just don't know what Jerry Jones is gonna do. He's hard headed as fuck. And Dak Prescott's definitely there next week. You know what? Fuck it, man. I think I'd do it, man. I think I'd go get CD.
DJ Moore in the first for CD?
Yeah, I think I'd do it.
A mid first?
Mid first, not early. Yeah. It ain't gonna be an early. Can't get rid of no early one.
So cut it off at about like the 105, 106.
Because I mean, with that said, with the Cowboys, they're just in these blowout games right now. Like, you can't get no productions from no wide receivers right now. Tony Pollard's kind of suffered a little bit, I guess. But
DJ Moore or George Pickens? Dynasty.
That's I don't even know, man. And me and you ain't George Pickens haters now. We defended him some during the offseason, so
Christian Watson.
I think I might rather have DJ Moore right now.
Yeah, I think
I gotta see something from Watson. I mean, I like Watson, but I gotta see from Jordan Love just a little bit. Like, I like Jordan Love and he's played all right, but he had a bad game that last game that looked really bad. And I like Romeo Dubs still. I mean, and Jaden Reed ain't even looking bad. So it's like it's funny. I feel like Green Bay Packers got some pretty decent players on their squad.
What
So,
about Jordan Addison?
nah, you know me, I'm taking Jordan Addison. Even with the situation, I just feel like the situation can't be too bad for Minnesota
Yeah,
in
I'd
the
rather have
future.
Addison.
I think Jordan Addison might pop off this week. We'll see.
We'll hope. We'll hope for
My
our
redraft
best.
team, hopes so. All right, Kraft. Look, I'm bringing up 2 running backs, and we'll call it a night, man. But the first one, we'll bring up Achane. Just went down. His fucking value just
Unbelievable.
went through the roof. I mean, through the roof. Like
He
I
was
wasn't
the
even a
number 2 running back on
right.
FanDuel.
I wasn't even the highest on
Behind
Achane
McCaffrey.
in the offseason, but when he went to Miami, I was like, damn, that shit might work out. And this dude has looked insane. So listen, man, I'm gonna say buy Achane, but if I have Achane, I'm not selling Achane for anything less than like 2 firsts plus, maybe. I don't
Crazy,
even know.
dude.
I'm gonna be
Yep.
honest. I'm gonna take that back. If you send me 2 firsts for Achane, I'm probably just gonna do it because now I'm starting to get in the mentality of in dynasty. If you got a running back and you can get a haul, just fucking sell it. Fuck it. I mean, it
Oh
is what
yeah.
it is.
For sure. And if you get like a mid first or a early first, you're going to get a running back next year that's going to be a every down back most likely.
Right.
So I would do that for that, but I mean I would sell Achane for 1 first if I knew it was early, like top 3,
Yeah,
top 4. I'd do it.
probably.
It's a
But
perfect
if
situation for Achane though. I mean, like we talk about situation all the time. Miami is when he got drafted, we said that is the best possible landing spot for Achane.
right, is there any window to buy low on HA? Maybe HA ended up on a contending team. He was probably going in the back of first rounds and draft. Well, I mean, where was HA going? Back of first
Like
round, second
nah, it was
round.
second round.
So any window to buy that man? Probably not. I mean, people, if you got him on your team and you just saw him drop 50 and
The hard
he's a
part is like if
rookie.
you're a contending team, you know, you could wait for him to come back and hopefully he does what he's been doing, which I think he'll probably he ain't gonna do what he has been doing, but it's gonna be good. I don't think he's
Yeah,
gonna come back and be bad. But you know, you still got Jeff Wilson coming back. What if Jeff Wilson pops off? You know,
right.
what if he's really efficient? Then you got a problem. But I mean, for a rebuilding team, I just don't see no reason to sell him unless it, like I said, is for an early top 3, top 4 first.
I agree. I
That's
agree.
it.
That one's not too much to say with that one, but here's a little bit of tougher one. What are we doing with motherfucking Javonte Williams? See, I got Javonte Williams on my team. He's a contender. Man, look, I've had to play him all year, but I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't even expecting him to play. I was just gonna keep him, and I was gonna sell him for the low if somebody wanted to offer me something for the low. But I never really got anything, and now he's on my team, and now I'm playing him every week because I don't know how many people are in situations like me, but
You
Javonte,
mostly, if you got him, he's in your lineup. I mean, in doo luckily I got Montgomery and Eckler, so
yeah,
I don't have to deal with it too much.
this
But
is
he's just
this is yeah.
mid. He's just mid as fuck.
Honestly, if I was a rebuilding team, I would go out and try to get Javonte Williams if you could get him for the low. I wouldn't want to give up a first for him or something because I just don't want to spend a first on a running back that's already had a bad injury and stuff like that. But I don't. I'm not saying you can necessarily get him for a first, but if you could just randomly throw a second out there and could get Javante, I'd I'd do that shit. I mean, some people might go for it as super flex, but
I
I don't
mean,
know.
Jaleel McLaughlin. I mean, he looks fine, and I wouldn't just say this about anybody, but Sean Payton's a new head coach for the Broncos, and this could be his guy. So
Yeah,
that, and not to say Javonte's going to lose his job completely, but if Sean Payton really trusts Jaleel McLaughlin to be a valuable part of the offense, I mean, I think he's pretty much a hold because I don't think you can sell him for what you want, and I don't think you can buy him. I wouldn't buy him for, like, I mean, like you said, maybe a second. Yeah, I would send a second out for Javonte, see if he can get it done. But
yeah.
I got Javonte, and I don't think I'd sell him for a second. So
That's what I was about to say. Also, if I had Javonte, like, I'm not even overreacting. Like, I wasn't even thinking this dude was even going to play. So the fact that this dude's even on the field and getting some run in and shit like that,
He's
I was
also
just,
on his third year of his
yeah,
contract too. So
he's
next year is his contract year, and it could go very, very well, or it could go very, very bad.
I think you just got to hold and just hope gets a little better. Sean Payton, all that, year 2. I think you hold Javonte, to be honest. Now, I don't think,
Yeah,
like, anybody was out there like, damn, I needed Javonte to be my workhorse this year. Like, I think most of everybody was thinking Javonte wasn't even going to play. I know I was thinking that. So,
and he hasn't been terrible, but he hasn't been great. It's just been the
a little better
Broncos.
last game.
The Broncos are my least favorite team in the NFL. Like if they're on TV, I'm not watching.
Man, me neither. I don't give a fuck about the Broncos. I'm just being honest.
It,
Russell Wilson, man, he kind of lost some favor with me. I'm just being real. I used to defend him a little bit, but
I mean, it ain't even him. Like the defense just fell totally apart. Like they're just in shambles. Their salary cap is terrible. They did. I don't know what they did. They just kind of start all over, pretty much.
Jerry Judy and Sutton ain't that good, in my opinion. So,
Who knows? Who
I
knows?
don't know, man.
Jared
That's
Judy will
nothing.
be if he gets traded, he'll be the breakout of the year next year. You watch from
Just
all
like
the
every
not
other
from
year.
us, not from us, but podcasts are gonna be saying Jared Judy's name again.
It's gonna
I
have to
got
be a good ass situation for
I got
me.
one more. I got one more name for you before we head out of here. Jahmyr Gibbs. What do you do with Jahmyr Gibbs?
Man,
Is
I'm gonna be
this the
real.
norm?
I'm holding that motherfucker. I'm just being honest. Kraft, I almost tagged you in it, man. I seen the same deal that you sent Jahmyr Gibbs in the first for Brees Hall. Everybody was saying Brees Hall. Um, I don't know. I don't think it's a bad deal. Like they're going, man. Like I'm telling you, Jahmyr Gibbs has only played like 5 games. I know they've said that he's just like the change of pace back and all this shit and yada yada, but the talent's too good. Eventually, they're gonna have to start giving this man the rock, and I think Dan Campbell knows it deep down. Even though we saw a weird situation with DeAndre Swift, but I think DeAndre Swift's just soft, and I think that's what Dan Campbell thought of him. So
But the offense is different now. Like Detroit is winning games, not losing games. So the pass catching upside isn't as high as it was with DeAndre Swift. He just couldn't stay healthy. But David Montgomery signed a 3-year deal. He's only 26 years old.
yeah, that's true.
Could this just continue over and over again, and people just give up eventually with Jahmyr Gibbs? Is what I'm saying. Like, what's the better case? Like, I think it does go up from here for sure,
Yeah,
but David Montgomery ain't going nowhere unless he gets hurt. Jahmyr Gibbs is still undersized. He's 200 pounds. He's not going to be the workhorse. He has a clear role. So even if Montgomery goes down, does Jahmyr Gibbs get everything?
he should. Shit, you spent a 12th pick on him. I would say he should. I mean, I'm not saying he will, but
Jahmyr Gibbs or Kenneth Walker?
I'm gonna be real. I think I want Kenneth Walker.
ETN?
Man, I might would take Jahmyr Gibbs in certain situations. If I was contending, I obviously want ATN. But if I'm like in, how I'm in doo-doo,
That's
I'm
where I'm at
rebuilding.
right now. I am contending and got Jahmyr Gibbs. He's on my bench.
Oh, yeah. I'd rather have ETN. I'm just being honest.
But
ETN's showing
the
out.
team that's got ETN's contending too. I don't think that's gonna work. But man, what about what if I offered Jahmyr Gibbs for Damian Pierce in a first?
I'd rather have Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm just being honest.
Brian Robinson in a first?
Ah, man. I think you should just hold crap, man. Just let it ride a little bit. That man Jahmyr Gibbs is just too good in real life.
What about Najee and 5 first-round picks?
I'll take the 5 first-round picks. Fuck that shit. I'll be like, you
What
can
if
just keep
that's one
Najee. I
we
don't
got to
even need
do
that
with?
shit.
Let's talk about Najee real quick.
Let's
What
talk
we
about
doing?
Najee. You have to. I'm gonna be honest. You have no choice but to hold Najee. His value is so fucking low, bro.
Could you trade Najee for Jalen Warren straight up?
I don't know. You probably could. I don't
Would
know.
you? Would you?
Crap.
I lost you for a second. I lost your vocals. But I still can't hear you, but
You can't hear me?
No, I can hear you now. I got you. You good?
All right,
You good.
yeah. Man, I'm gonna be real. That man Najee, I don't even know what to say about that bum.
So is this a sell? Is this a sell low situation? If you wanted to sell, like Zach Charbonnet or Najee?
Man, I think I'd rather have Charbonnet. It just seems like it's over with Najee. But here's the thing, like I've been a Najee hater.
This happened last year. This happened exactly the way it did last year, but Najee ended up pretty much exploding in the second half. I don't think
Man.
that's going to happen, but just saying, putting it out there.
Listen, I'll just say this: like I ain't been the biggest Najee hater, or I have been a Najee hater. But I'll be real. I'll be seeing clips of him. That dude's getting hit in the backfield every play, man. That offensive line, they was supposed to get a little bit better. I don't think that thing got any better. I'm just being real. But with that said, I mean, if you're just in Dynasty or whatever, like, what are you going to do? Like, having Najee ain't the worst thing to happen. Like, when you go into next season, like, obviously for this year, it's over with. But
I mean, in redraft, though, I think I would just go buy Najee and put him on your bench just in case. Like, if you could trade, I'm trying to think, like, in redraft, would you rather have
Traylon Burks?
Zach Moss or Najee for the rest of the season?
I know, because JT's back.
Like, if you had Zach Moss, would you just go get Najee? But my advice would be get Najee, don't start him, and just see.
Right. And just see what happens.
Yeah, just see what happens.
Yeah, because I definitely wouldn't want to be stuck having to throw him in my lineup.
What about Devon Achane in redraft? With him being on IR, would you just hold Achane and hopefully he wins you some championships at the end?
Like, are you saying I could trade Najee and get Achane and redraft?
No,
Like,
trade Achane on IR and get Najee.
Oh man, I'm holding Achane. I just don't even see the upside for Najee like that. I mean, my argument for Najee the whole time was he caught 300 balls from Big Ben, or not 300, but 100. He had like 100 targets, or a little bit shy of it.
Yeah.
So, I just had to take a on-air piss.
I think he's just done.
All that beer I've been drinking. Yeah, I don't know. Najee got some Trent Richardson in him, don't he? Or some Eddie Lacy in him.
It seems like it. Definitely seems like it.
Maybe not Eddie Lacy. That man couldn't get off the hamburgers and shit, man.
Do you have like for a continued team, do you have like a person just go buy for cheap right now? Like not somebody that's going to cost the bank. Would you, if you're a continued team, would you go out and get Adam Thielen?
That's exactly what I was about to say. The guys that I would try to go get are Tyler Lockett and Adam Thielen because I know you can get them for cheaper. You can't, and the reason why you can't is because they're older. And Tyler Lockett just gets a little bit disrespected. He hasn't looked the same the whole way. But Thielen, that joker's old. Like you could slide, you could definitely shoot. I'd throw a second and get Thielen. Fuck it. If I was,
I know this is ugly too, but what Cortland Sutton, third rounder for Sutton,
had a touchdown last game.
He's been fine. Michael Thomas.
You might need to shout out the old big dunk by old Sutton and outperforming Judy this year. Fuck dunk.
Yeah. We just a year late. I can't. I had Judy ranked higher in my rankings this year, and I should have put that man in the dirt like I knew I should have, but bought into a little bit of the hype, I guess. He wasn't high in my redraft rankings, but I definitely had him ranked over Sutton.
Yeah, he wasn't high in mine either, but I had him ranked over Sutton too. I really think they need to give Marvin Mims a little more work, if I'm just being honest.
He's going to have to. Judy will be gone soon. And Judy will definitely be gone. I don't know where he'll go, but I don't know what the value is for Judy. That's one we got to talk about in Dynasty too. Is he a buy
bring him
low?
on up.
He a buy low? I mean, obviously it's a buy low, but
listen, crap. I make fun of the internet every year. They pick these players and they just can't give up on them. Like Trey Lance, Jerry Judy, Cam Akers. Like there's other guys out there that it's like they just can't give up on it. But Jerry Judy, with him in the trademark and all that stuff, I think I'd go try to buy low real quick. I might just go throw a little if I can get it for a second. I mean, what does buy low mean for Jerry Judy? You know what I'm saying? That dude was a top 10 pick at one time. If I could throw
some people still love him, obviously.
Yeah. So if I could throw a little late second out there and get Jerry Judy. And then that motherfucker end up with like, I don't even know, the Chargers or something. Like, I'd be happy as fuck. Who did I see? I seen. Oh no, it was the Colts. I seen the Colts were interested in him.
Yeah,
I don't know if
that
I'd
ain't much
be
better.
calling for a Jerry Judy breakout with
Yeah,
that
that
one.
ain't much better.
So I don't know, man. Tough. Jerry Judy's. He's not really tough for me. I just don't want him on my team. But if you stacked and you can afford to throw a little something out there, hey, might as well. You never know. I mean, Jerry Judy can't be that trash. I mean, he's just underperformed for 4 straight years, but
Every single time.
every
Hey, but he
time.
had like a 4-game stretch though. That's what everybody says. This
Hey,
4-game stretch though,
he
he
gonna
was
probably
great.
do the same. He gonna do the same this end of this year, and we're gonna be talking about that breakout again for like year 5. So,
I would trade Jerry Judy for Najee Harris in redraft.
would you?
I think I would. Running
I
backs
mean,
are a little bit
yeah,
iffy. Teams are always looking for running backs, but not, like I said, you don't start Najee Harris when he comes back. Like draft, do what you've been doing with Judy, bench his ass, and just see. Like I'd rather see what Najee's going to do rather than what I'm going to see what Judy's going to do. He doesn't
Travis.
check.
I got one more name I'm gonna bring up. We're gonna hop off this pod and call it a night. What about Treylon Burks? That guy. That dude, in this season, I'll admit, I was buying into him. I got a lot of best ball, took him in a redraft league in like the 10th round or whatever. I mean, it was low. It wasn't like I was like buying in, like, oh man, I'm reaching on this guy 4 rounds early. It was like, buy low, let's see.
I'll take him every time where he's going, pretty much.
Right. They ain't doing nothing in Tennessee. I mean, I've seen him. Can I drop him in redraft craft? I just thought about it today. Can I just drop him?
for sure. You can drop him in redraft,
I don't
no
want to.
doubt. I mean,
Take
and
lock. I'm stuck on him.
man,
Yeah.
you should have dropped him a long time, picked up a Josh Reynolds or something. Tank Dell, like easy.
That's the thing, man. Average Joe's kills me because I'm so busy all the time without the waiver wire. Everybody's ahead of me. By the time I think of something, I'll scroll up. I'm like, damn, he picked him up 5 hours ago. Like, ain't nothing I can do about it now.
I love that shit though. It's like the Wild West, man. You just
I do
go in
too,
there,
man.
just fucking pick up people when you're ready. Ain't gotta
I'm
wait.
with you.
That's good for
So,
redraft, especially like leagues that's been going on for a while. My Yahoo leagues like that too, where it's just free agents, man. No waiver wire. Just pay attention, and if you miss out, you miss out.
what about a dynasty for Treylon Burks? Like, because Treylon Burks is kind of like in that Rashad Bateman phase. Like, as even
Oh
this year, I was saying go buy, not buy Rashad Bateman, or I mean, yeah, I was
yeah,
probably
we
saying
did.
buy him for the low.
I
Buy
definitely
him,
did.
yeah.
Yeah,
But in redraft, you could get Rashad Bateman in the 10th plus round, best ball too. So it's like it's the same thing. But do you see more with Treylon Burks? You just saying he's just going down that path, stuck in Tennessee. They don't really look like they're gonna do anything.
if they had a good quarterback, I would say to hold him. I mean, you pretty much got to hold him. I can't say it. I can't think of a player that comes to mind that I've seen a little promise that you could trade him for. As far as rookies go, I mean, what are you going to get for Treylon Burks? Except for, I don't even think you're getting a second. It'd have to be a third.
Just gotta hold
That,
his ass. It's crazy
yeah,
because you probably spent the 104, 105 ish
but with like a
on
third
him.
round pick, you got probably like a 10% chance of hitting. Would you take that 10% chance of hitting rather than hold on to Burks?
I'd probably take Treylon over the third. You know what I'm saying?
You can
I
get
probably
Puka.
even if I had him.
You can get Puka in the third, baby. You can get Jalen
Hey,
Hurts in the third. There's a lot of
if you
players that
trust,
have broken out in third.
yeah, if you trust your ability to hop in that third round and grab some guys, hey, go for it. I mean, fuck it. Treylon Burks
Yeah,
got first round capital and all that shit though, so it's like,
he's not a
oh,
buy though. He's just not a buy. I don't think I'd be going out thinking Treylon Burks.
I'd buy him if I could throw that third out there and just throw him on my bench. Be like, here,
I
get
got
on my plate.
I got 4% left on this Mac. It's about to die, but one more name. I think I can put it out real quick. Let's talk about this real quick. Jameson Williams. What do you do with him?
God damn, I don't know what to do with that. You just got to hold his ass too. That 2012 class, wide receiving class, looked good after 1 year, but now it's just not looking so hot.
Yeah, I think Jameson's a hold too. I was trying to buy him before the season, but Detroit, I don't think they have any reason to rush him back and really get him in the lineup and play him right now. I mean, they're winning games pretty handedly, so there's no reason to make him a focal point in this offense anytime soon.
I just don't think Jared Goff is. I just see Jameson Williams stretching the field, and I just don't think Jared Goff is.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, if James Williams comes back, and I feel like it would help Amon-Ra a little bit more. Amon-Ra's a guy, in my opinion, and Josh Reynolds and them ain't sorry.
Jameson's one of them guys that you could trade to a rebuilding team and maybe get, a guy that will help you out this year. Though you want to trade Jameson and get, Mike Evans.
Oh yeah, I'd do that. Fuck it.
Chris Godwin, maybe something like that.
Tyler Lockett,
yeah. If you're not Thielen, but if you were
I wouldn't do that, dude.
Lockett's kind of close too. I don't think I would do Lockett if I had Jameson, but
yeah.
It'd have to be like that Mike Evans range. Hopefully, like if the team that has Mike Evans is rebuilding, that would be ideal. But I mean, a couple more names. I'm trying to go down some of these veterans. Christian Kirk.
I'll take Christian Kirk. Fuck.
Michael Pittman.
Honestly, I think what's the deal with Michael Pittman though? I was hearing about the trade rumors with Jerry Jeudy. I was wondering if maybe Michael Pittman ain't part of the damn plans, but I don't really know what his deal was.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know, but just think about Jameson. But like I said, my shit's about to die real quick.
Yep.
But I love this episode. This is a good one. Everybody check it out.
Definitely a good ass one. And thanks for listening, everybody. 5-star review, all that good stuff. Shout out to the Craft Man. Craft, say something real quick to the people, or?
Yep, just appreciate everybody as always. Appreciate everybody for listening, and just check us out. Matt said he's gonna get a little more involved on social media. I haven't posted shit in like weeks. I'm gonna try to.
You know how it is.
I hate Twitter so much.
Yeah, fuck it all. I get on there and just talk shit, but it is what it is, man. Thanks for listening to the pod, everybody. With that said, we are out.
Peace.